Hello, hello, hello. You're tuning into another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's first topic, we're keeping it on the defensive side of the ball. So, as you already know, and if you have been keeping up with the little mini docuseries we've been doing, we've talked about this team trying to recreate the old Ravens defense. And we've talked about how they were trying to get Ajabo to be Suggs, right? They're trying to get Marcus Williams to be Ed Reed. And today's last contestant or last player that we're bringing up, can Roquan Smith be this team's King Ray Lewis? Now look. I know a lot of people always get into in their fields when you start comparing Ray and Ed, because everyone's like, oh, well, Ed. But, you know, for the people that appreciate the leadership, the guidance, the foundation that Ray Lewis built, that they know that this is all built on the back of Ray Lewis. And they know that as he goes, the team went. And I'm saying that this team believes Roquan can be that for them. Look, so I was scouring. You know how I like to bring in stats with everything that I do. So did you know, this is crazy. Did you know last year was Roquan's first season with 100 tackles? Yeah. It's crazy to believe, right? For as good and as dominant he's been, he's never had over 100 tackles. Look at this. And I know everyone will be like, you serious? He's had combined, like assisted and stuff like that, but solo tackles, 89, 66, 98, 95, 52. You know what I'm saying? 50. If you combine, because remember, he didn't play with us the whole season. If you combine just 2022, he had 103 solo tackles. Solo. So, you know what I mean? Look, I'm going to say that, and he had, 2 sacks. I'm not saying that Roquan Smith is Ray Lewis. Do not try to misconstrue what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that this team found the old formula and they are trying to put pieces in the place to best replicate that formula. For any Marvel fan, y'all see the superhero, the super soldier serum, they could never recreate it. They tried. And they got a whole bunch of non-Captain Americas trying to take it, and it was never quite Captain America. They couldn't lift as much as Captain America. They couldn't run like Captain America. They weren't a proper representation of Captain America, but they still wore that shield. You understand where I'm coming from? That's what I'm saying. They might not be him, but they had to wear that shield. And they were good enough to get the job done in that shield. And that's what I'm saying with these players. Roquan Smith, now more than ever in his career, it's about unifying the guys around him and being their perpetual battle cry. I don't care what anybody wants to say or think. Take away the measurables. Ray Lewis was more than measurables. He was more than physical ability. He was a standard. I'm preaching today. He was a foundational rock in which this team stood upon. And anybody understands when you are doing anything with architecture, with building, no matter how nice that building is, no matter how beautiful, how high tech, how fancy, how expensive, it means nothing if you do not have the proper foundation. And Ray Lewis was the proper foundation. Now, here's the thing. Here's the kicker. Can Roquan be that for this defense? Can he? Can he be the bar that he will not allow people to go under? Because a lot of times, everybody wants leadership. I tell this to everybody. For anybody that's been a leader in their life in anything that you do, everybody wants the leadership because they want, I don't have to answer to nobody. But you know what leadership requires? Leadership? Responsibility. You have to walk the walk, talk the talk, lead by example. That's the part that a lot of people leave out. That's why these days there's so many chiefs and not enough Indians. Everybody believes that they're a chief, but no one's willing to do what it takes to be a chief. And if they become a chief, they don't do all the things that it takes to remain a chief. I'm preaching. That's what Ray Lewis was to this team, to this culture. Now, am I saying that Roquan is Ray? No, I will never say that. When you talk about the top 10 defensive players of all time, Ray Lewis is in that conversation. He's in that conversation. Wholeheartedly in that conversation. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP. He was in MVP talks for multiple seasons. Multiple seasons. But we know defensive players don't win it. Like, I think there's only been, 2 defensive players in the history of the NFL to win most valuable player? If I'm not mistaken, I think it's 2. Look, this team needs not just a vocal leader, they need a standard. Right? No, gone are the days where everyone's just like, oh, just play like a Raven, that's enough. No. We're in a new league, we're in a new era where defense is almost frowned upon. If the league could have, I'm going to be real with you, if the league could have teams averaging 50 a game, putting up JV basketball scores, they would. They would. You understand? But that standard brings culpability, responsibility to the other players on that defense. Because if you hold yourself to such a high standard that no one can question your undoubted leadership, then everybody has to fall in line. Everybody. That's why they always say a ship usually is in the image of the captain. Because whatever the captain lets go, those sailors are allowed to do. Roquan has to not just be the physical specimen and the anchor to the middle of the defense. He has to be the vocal leader for them to be willing and ready to run through a literal and figuratively put brick wall at a moment's notice. You see, everybody's willing to be at your side when you're receiving heaven's gifts. But not many men will say we got to put on our boots and track through HE-double hockey sticks. Especially in the playoffs, where weather plays a difference. AFC North team, that's what we're accustomed to. Weather games. That's when your defense has to be focused. That's when your defense has to be mean. That's when your defense has to be hard-hitting. That's when your defense has to be unmovable, unshakable. You understand where I'm coming from? And that's what he has to be. So, what do you guys think in the comment section? Can Roquan Smith become this team's Ray Lewis? Can he become the center foundational anchor for this defense? Because Ray was special, man. Ray was special. It wasn't just about what he could do physically. It was about what he could verbally portray to the guys around him to get them ready for war. But let me know down in the comment section, do you think Roquan Smith could be that for this team? And that's another episode of The Wunderkind Show! Thank you all for watching. You know how we get down. We have fun and we laugh. But everything we talk about is rooted in what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. You know I love the comments. Just be respectful. Just like Ray said, respect goes a long way. And if you would like to donate to this channel to help it grow, at the bottom of the screen on this side is a QR code. That's the QR code to a Cash App. You can find the Cash App in the description of every video that we do and on the main page. And the name of it is The Wunderkind Show. Also available is the Patreon. You want behind the scenes access, fantasy football, all those type of things, sweepstakes for free merch. That's how you do it. And I just want to apologize too. I've been swamped trying to come up with stuff to keep the show going. I haven't been able to finish up the merch, but the merch will be finished this month. I promise. It will be done. It will be done. But once again, this is The Wunderkind Show. This show's Nitro signing off. And as always, you guys know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Yeah.